Hey guys, in this video we're going to see about data cleaning. So I have HDFC Bank credit card statement. I usually get the statement, which is of PDF form, into an Excel, so I can do some expense analysis and have a track of my expenses. So while converting this PDF to Excel, I have a certain alignment issues. So I used to follow some basic approaches with formulas and few stuffs. So let me try to explain you what is my approach, and if you have a simpler approach or a way shorter methods, you can just ping me in the comment section and let me show you how I do it. So this is my credit card statement. So you can see the data here present is date, transaction description, and then amount. So these are the major data we want from this statement, and additionally we have the time also here. So this data is of 4 pages, not a problem. In order to copy this, I used to use a simple mechanism that is nothing but click and drag. I'll just click here, as because it's a readable PDF, I have this convenience. So I'll just click and drag till the data I want. I'll just copy till here, Control C, and I'll open my Excel. So once my Excel is open, I press Control V. So the problem here is I got it in a horizontal way, but actually I want it in a vertical way. I'll just revert back. You can go for Control Alt V, and then you can select text, OK. So it gets you in the horizontal way, which is what we require. But here if you see, I have an additional data also. Nothing but my name is again repeating here. The header is here, and again if you see, we have the data transactions here. Again we have the repetition. It is nothing because you see the PDF, each page has an header, each page has my name, and there is a page number. So these components are repeating each page wise. If you take a total quantum of data here, I have only like 160, 159 data, like 150 line item. Let's say I'll just remove this manually. I have to remove this 4 times. But if in case you have this data repeating for more than 100 times, let's say 1000 line items is being repeating, then your page number will be around 10 or 20 pages. Then you have to do it 20 times. So how do I make it easy then? So I'll just put a filter, Control Shift L. So here if you see the data, I have one similarity that every date is the first component here. So obviously all my other components will be put it in the bottom. So I just have to go to the end, select all the additional components, remove them. So I can just remove them at one shot. If this was a 10-20 pages also, you will do it in the same one shot and you will remove them. I guess I have forgot also the blanks. I will remove the blanks also. So I'll just remove the blanks. So now my data is basically clean. But if you notice the data here, you can see that all my data is in one column. My date, time, and my narration and my amount. So this is supposed to be in different columns. In order to segregate this, I use an approach which is nothing but go to data. First select the range and then go to data and then text to column. Here you will be having delimit and fixed width. If you're new to delimit and fixed width, I'll say delimit is nothing but you need to have a delimiting component. What is a delimiting component? It is nothing but something like you can take a delimiting component as comma, you can take a delimiting component as dot, nothing but full stop, something like underscore or hyphen or something like that. Let's say I can give you an example. Like if my delimiting component is right here, let's say I have comma here which delimits the date, delimits the time, and then my narration and then the amount. If it is this way, I can use that method, but it is not delimited this way, it is delimited with space. Okay, if I take the space as my delimiting component, I have a problem here. My narration has multiple space in between them, so that can also not be used. So again I have to go with the fixed width approach. So I'll just go with that. If you go with fixed width, it has automatically considered my date. It is nothing but it takes based on the length of the text. So with that consideration, it has segregated my date, it has segregated my time. The arrow is basically segregation. So but it can't segregate my narration and amount. It has segregated into one, so which is 3, date, time, and narration and amount together into one. So this is because if you see the first transaction, it has a very long width amount, but the second one is smaller than the first one. So as because of this, it is not able to segregate, give a fixed width for segregation. So with this, I'll just go with next. Whatever it is here, we'll proceed with that. So I'll just auto align here. So you can see that I have my date here, I have the time here, and my description is here, but along with the amount. So now my objective is to segregate the amount out of this narration. So people here take different approaches. So the most common one I see is flash fill. If you're new to flash fill, I'll explain you practically. So here, if you see my objective here is to segregate this amount out of this. So I want to put 50, I'll put 25, and if I press Ctrl E, it will try to understand what the user is giving. Basically, it is trying to understand what approach that I'm taking here. It is nothing but the last few letters I'm trying to get out. So Excel itself has a certain intelligence to basically understand the pattern that you're trying to do, and it basically mimics the pattern. So if you see here, 150 is precise, 180 is precise, 4648 is precise. But when you go to this transaction, it is not precise. So it is very simple that you can just correct it here. It will again understand your pattern and give the result again. But if you see the accuracy rate of flash fill, it is not perfect. Let me take a transaction where it has mistakes. So here, if you see this transaction around 25,188 credit. So it has given me 188 only. So where I have to edit it to 25,188. So now I have given a different, again an update in the pattern. So which has made some issues here. Again I will correct the pattern there. Again it resolved this. And let me check if there is any other issues here. So as far it is good. But the problem here is, in order to understand this, let's say here I have an issue. It is 475, but it is actually 1475. So see, the accuracy here is the problem. When I want to do some analysis with this, then I have to be perfect with the amount. If the amount is wrong, my analysis will be wrong. I can't have a proper track of my expenses. So I would not suggest flash fill in this data cleaning. Like for this kind of data, I would not recommend flash fill. Let's say if it was only in 50 line item, 100 line item, maybe you can perfect it with manually checking it. But let's say if it is 1000 line item, you can't manually check it. You have to go with sampling. If you go with sampling, you can't get the perfection. So to get the perfect data out, I would use a formula approach. That I use different formulas into one combination. So in order to explain you and make simpler for you, I'll segregate the formulas and explain you. So here, let me first explain what is the objective, what is the logic here. My first objective is nothing but I have to remove the amount out of this, and I have to have the narration separately, amount separately. So my logic here is very simple. I want to just go from right. If I go from right, my first delimiting component will be space. What is the space here? This space can be taken as a delimiting component, but the first space from right or the last space from left. See, I have space here after L, I have space after E, I have space after R, and then the last space is N. So the last space from left or the first space from right. So in order to do this, I just use a formula of something called len. Len is nothing but length. So if you're new to length formula, it is nothing but it gives me len of reference to this C2 cell is nothing but gives me the count of text inside that cell. It is as simple as giving me number of letters inside the cell. So which is nothing but 32. But I want also the count of letters without space. Here I have space. After L I have space. There is all around 4 spaces I have in this text. But I want without space. Then how do I get it? Then I use something called substitute formula. So substitute is nothing but, if you're new to substitute again, then substitute is nothing but, as the name suggests, it substitutes something what you provide. Let's say, let me substitute something here. I have UPI here. So I'll use substitute formula. I want to substitute. First I'll give the syntax. First is text. So text is nothing but this text, comma. What is the old text you want to replace? The old text I want to replace is UPI. I don't want UPI. I want to have something else. So any text you are going to give should be inside quotes, double quotes. So I'll give inside double quotes UPI, again comma, my new text, what I'm going to give new, what I'm going to replace or substitute it with. Let me put my name itself. I'll put Kalai. And I'll close the bracket. I'm not going to use this instance for now. I'll just close the bracket. You can, it is optional. So if you see here, it has replaced the name, removing UPI and then replacing it with Kalai. This is what basic substitute formula works with. And what right now I want to remove is, I don't want to remove UPI, I want to remove is space. So how do I give space? Inside I told you inside double quotes, if I give anything, it will remove. It will be replaced. So I want to actually replace space. So inside double quotes, I'll give space. What should I replace it with? I want to replace it with blank. So inside double quotes, don't give anything, it will be blank. So inside double quotes, if I give anything, it is space. Inside double quotes, if I don't give anything, it is blank. So if I give this, all the spaces will be removed here. So on top of this, I can give length in order to get the length formula. So this is done, or else you can go here and then give length of this, you will get 28. So I'll just go with, in order to make this simple, I'll just combine two formulas into one. You can just add length here, add a bracket and a close bracket, which will give you a combination of formula. I'll just delete this. So I have got count with space and count without space. So let me take the difference of this. It is 4. The 4 is nothing but how many spaces are there. So now I got how many spaces are there. Let me see if this is similar for every data. So it is not similar. Earlier I had 4, 3 and I have 1 also. If I see 1, I have only 1 space here and I don't have any other spaces here. So it is very simple that I have a dynamic data and I know the count of space. If this is 4, it is nothing but from the start of the left, it has the 4th space is my delimiting component. So I don't want the space to be the delimiting component. Let me add something on space so that I can have a different delimiting component. Let me explain you that. So I'll use substitute formula for this. So I'll select this text, comma, my older text is nothing but I'll go with space, and then my new text, this component new text should be something that is not used in your data. I find at the rate is not used here at all because hash is used here, so I'll go with at the rate. So at the rate, if you see, if I only give this, what will happen? If you see the whole content here, it has been, all the spaces has been replaced with at. If you see after L there's a space, so which is replaced with at. After E there was a space, it was replaced with at. So all the 4 has been replaced with at. Last time we didn't use this instance number which was optional. So this time I use it, which is nothing but if I give 1. Let me try with 1. The first instance is being considered as the replacing component. It's nothing but my, if you see the formula here, I am replacing space with at. That is my formula basically. So in my first formula without instance number, it replaced all the instances. But when I give my instance as 1, my first space is alone being considered, my first instance. If I give 2, what will happen? My second instance, my first instance is this space. It has found the space first time, but it has ignored. Second time it has found, it has been replaced with at. So what if I give the instance as 3? The third component will be considered as at. So the third instance. So here, let me give the last one 4. So my 4. So what I've got here is now my delimiting component will be this at alone, because my number is next to a delimiting component, so that till the delimiting component I can take. So how do I, when I have a dynamic data, how do I do this? So it is nothing but this 4 has to be given reference to this. So if I do this, I'll just drag it down. All my delimiting component now is at. So till at, if I take, I can just separate this number. So how do I take this number till at? So it is very simple that you can just go here. First let me take the length of this. It is nothing but 32. And then you can just find a formula called find and search. So find, search is almost similar, but I'll just go with find right now. So find, what I should find is find text. So at is what I should find. So within what? So within this text. So let's see what it returns. It returns 27. It is not, what is 27 here is nothing but from the start of left where at is being placed. It is searching for at, so that at is placed at the 27th place of this text. Out of 32, 27th place is at. So if I get the difference out of this, I get 5. So which is nothing but my difference, that is from this right. If I take 5 will be my component, 32 will be my overall number, in that my position of at is at 27, so my remaining number is 5. So if you have used the formula right, you can just give right to the text comma 5 is my number, so I'll give the number here. So if you're new to right, I'll just explain you right, and there is something called left and right. So right is nothing but it starts from right, and left is something starts from the beginning. So here I want, as because our logic is to start from the right, I am using this, and the syntax says that text is nothing but you are referring to G2, the reference you want to have, and the number of from left, let's say from here, how many digits do you want to pull to here. So I want to pull only the 5 from last. I want to only pull 5 text, so which is nothing but 50 here. So if I just drag the whole formula for everything, I'll just get that whole transaction done. I'll just copy paste all the formulas here. So here if you see, I'll get all the numbers segregated here. So here if you see 50, 25, 50, 80, everything is perfect here. But if you come here, you can again see 23 CR. It is nothing but everything is debit, and this is alone credit. Basically here I'm only tracking my expense, so I don't want my credit. If you want, or if in case you want credit, you can again use substitute and remove CR from this. It is very as simple as that. So basically now I have separated my amount. Let me hide all this for now. So my amount is segregated now. The last one is segregated narration. So how do I do it? So again I use substitute. Substitute text will be this, comma, my old text will be 50 because I have removed 50. Now I can refer 50 now, and my new text will be blank. How do you give blank? It is nothing but 2 quotes without anything in between. So I don't want to use instance, I'll just give this. So my narration is also here. When I drag this whole formula for the whole 100 content, it will be ready. So I can just make the placements here. I can just remove this. So I have the description here, I have the amount here, so which basically serves my objective, and my logic is being used here. So this is how my approach is. So to summarize what I have done here, I have just copy pasted from PDF to Excel, and then I have used basic cleaning with fixed width, and then in order to separate description and amount alone, I have used 3 formulas, which starts with length, and then I have used substitute, and then I have used right. So with this combination I am able to do this. If you have a different approach or a different simpler way to do this, please let me know in the comment section, and hope you like this video. Thank you.